This is a GlideScope. The intubation procedure is similar, but not the same. Come over here so you grab the screen too, right? So you have the two blades. This is called hyperangulated blade. This is not like a regular standard geometry blade. So for dogs, right, we call this is the mag blade, right? You notice how the shape is not the same? So this is the hyperangulated. What do we call this one? The Miller. So we're not gonna use this. We're gonna use the hyperangulated, and we're gonna use the Miller. I'll show you the difference, right? So how we usually go about it. So cross finger technique. First thing we want to find is the uvula, right? So this is the uvula. You see that? Mm-hmm. Then we inch on the tongue, and I want to see what? I want to see the epiglottis. You see the epiglottis? Yeah. This blade gets inserted into the vallecular space. And on this particular hyperangulated blade, you don't want this view. You see, so this is what do we call this view? This is a full view, right? But the problem is if I have this full view, if I go with the tube wants to go where? Where? In the stomach. So here you want the poor view. You want to drop your angle so that the tube goes where? In the trachea. So I don't want the full view. I want a 50% view. If I have a full view, you see how it goes in the stomach? Mm-hmm. When I drop my angle, right, then I can advance it forward. So let me go back. Tongue, 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 tongue. What's this? So full view, drop the view. And then from the side, then it goes into the trachea. If I have this view, it goes, you see under? Mm-hmm. Good. Mm-hmm. So this is how you introduce the blade with a hyperangulated blade. Let me just show you how to do this with the Miller. Miller is slightly different technique because the Miller, you want to grab what?
Epiglottis itself.
Still cross finger technique, come in the mouth. You see the uvula? Mm-hmm. Keep going until I see what? The epiglottis. You see the epiglottis? Yeah. I'm gonna basically grab it with the tip of my blade and then I lift. You see that? Mm-hmm. So the tip of the blade is basically lifting the epiglottis up, right? And then you introduce your blade, your tube, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why it's not allowing me to tube is they did a needle crike, and so there's an opening here. That's why it doesn't allow me. So the difference between the two blades was, with the hyperangulated, you go in the vallecula.
Coming out the hole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this blade, what you want to do is, again, go into the space, but you're not, what I'm saying is you're not placing the blade here. You are actually grabbing, and then you're lifting. You see that? That's the laryngeal inlet, right? And then you're going to come with your tube, right? And then you're going to intubate, right? Yeah. That's what you're doing. It doesn't let me advance forward because they did a needle crike, surgical crike, I should say, and they cut the neck. And they cut the neck. Right. One other thing about this GlideScope I want to show you guys, if you're going to be over in the field, see it has a record button. So I want to show you the recording. This will record from the actual screen. So if you put the camera on the screen, why do you think this may be important? So let's say I take a hyperangulated blade and I go on the screen, I connect it here, and then I come and I record. So it's recording from this optic. Why? I gotta get your bald spot. Perfect. Got it. Now it's on video.
I know I was supposed to.
So now I'm going in uvula, right? I find right the vallecular space I insert. Why do you think the capability of recording is important? So one would be QA/QI, right? If you're running QA/QI. The other thing is if you're doing it as an educational setting, right? Let's say if I'm demoing and I'm recording a real case, maybe it's a difficult airway, and I want to, let's say, for the students, I want to show them, like, let's say there's laryngeal edema or there is spasming of the vocal cords, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to show you what the drugs do or anything like this. So QA/QI could be another reason, and what would be another reason why you may want to employ video? CYA. So CYA, yeah, CYA. But so you have a record. You have a record of the procedure, right? Because if something happens, right, you always have the video of this case number, blah blah blah. That's what. So this was a recording for hyperangulated. Let me just do the same thing for, and then I'm gonna save it for on the USB in the back. and then I'll upload it in the same thing, right? And I'll show you. So record, come in, right, uvula. I look for what? The epiglottis, and then I want to grab it. So I grabbed it, right? That's the thing, right? So once the recordings are done, right, you click your recordings, and then what you do is you're gonna go here, files, and then in the files, see there's 3, 1, 1, 2, and I'm going to transfer them to the USB. So 1, 2, 3, and then you see the USBs here. Move to the USB. Copy. Move. Boom. Yeah. And this is the USB drive. I'm going to actually upload this, right? So this will be your thing if you wanted to review cases, right, or anything like that, cardiac arrest, anything. Any questions? Clear? So you guys gonna practice doing both, right? This Miller and the hyperangulated.